We have tabbed our CPT book, we have tabbed our ICD-10-CM book, and today we are going to tab our HCPCS book. Now you might be saying to yourself, hey Victoria, there are no tabs in the HCPCS book. I've looked. And up until a couple of weeks ago, that would have been true. The 2023 edition did not have tabs, but when we got our 2024 editions of HCPCS, there they are. Now I will say the tabs that come in the book are leaving a lot to be desired, so I will still go through these in my old book, but I really want to show you the tabs from Medical Coding Tabs Co. You guys know they are my favorite, and they once again gifted me some tabs. You can find Medical Coding Tabs Co. on Etsy. I will link them below. So what do I want to do first? The tabs that come in the book or the Medical Coding Tabs Co. tabs? Let's at least take a look at these first, and then maybe I'll walk you through the ones that came in the book. Okay, so here are the ones from Medical Coding Tabs Co. Look at that cute little sticker that they have on there now. We'll rip this open, and here we have a nice uniform system on how to use these tabs. It's bright, it's colorful, it comes with everything you need. Here are the alphabetic listings, and what tabs do they have for HCPCS? So there's definitely more tabs here than there are for the AAPC ones, or at least different ones. I don't think they had the different appendices with the ones that came in the AAPC HCPCS book. And I think these were more strategically placed versus the AAPC ones. And the AAPC ones do not include this. They don't include these tabs for all of the different sections of HCPCS. They give you the alphabetic listings, and that's it. They don't have these. They give you extra tabs, which I'll show you. So here's the 2024 tabs. You can see these first few are like pages apart. They're like page 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then they get into a couple of different things: the index, the anatomical illustrations, and the tabular, and the appendices, which just has one in general for all the appendices, and then the alphabet list. So it looks like these are actually not to put for the alphabetic index to separate them, because when I kind of look, because I made my own for the different sections here because they weren't written out here. I mean, these are just awful, to be honest with you. But as I'm looking, they don't have all of the letters. They just have the ones that coordinate with these sections of the HCPCS, because we don't have like Z and X and stuff. We just have the A for admin, but they didn't actually like write out what they are. So I kind of made my own, thinking that I was going to use these for my alphabet for my index, but it looks like that's actually not going to be the case. So I guess the intent of these is to use them to tab the HCPCS letter sections, which honestly, if I was trying to write them out, I wouldn't have a lot of space here to write in things like admin or enteral and parenteral therapy, and it just looks messy. So honestly, like these tiny little tabs versus these beauties over here, there's really absolutely no comparison. So I'm going to go through what they've done here. I mean, I guess technically I could just put in the missing letters here and use these for my alphabetic index, and oh gosh. Yeah, let's start with Medical Coding Tabs Co. first, so I can show you the beautiful way to do it versus the we have to figure this out way to do it. Now, one of the great things about Medical Coding Tabs Co. is it gives you these little alignment grids, so you know exactly where to put them, and you also know what pages to put them on because they tell you on the tabs exactly what page to put them on. Let's go ahead first and mark our alphabetic index. So we have these beauties here and our wonderful grid right here, so we can go through our A, B, C, D, E's. So here's our A, there's our B, and then we're going to have our letter C over here. Now remember, we're going to keep all of these here on the right hand side so that they're all uniform when we open and close the book. If we take our C, even though it starts on this page, and put it over here, it would be facing the wrong way when we're looking at it from the front of the book. So next we're going to go through our D and then our E. Since the HCPCS book isn't a very large one, it's a little easier to kind of go through and place your tabs. And then G is on the same page, and that's fine to have two tabs on the same page. You can have two tabs on the same page because you're not going to put them in the wrong spot, right? But you still want to know where that is. H, I, and if you don't want to use these tabs, you can make your own tabs. You can find ones that you like a little bit better. If you have one of those people that owns a Cricut and you want to just go ahead and make your own tabs on your Cricut, or if you don't like tabs at all, honestly, you don't have to use the tabs. If you want to have tabs that are specific to what you think you want to pay attention to, you can absolutely do that as well. And then here we go again. We have 4 tabs on this page, and that's fine because we want to know where all of these different sections are, we want to be able to see them clearly. For a split second there, I was a little bit worried that I was putting them in the wrong spot. Maybe they were supposed to go on the top, but then this grid wouldn't have made much sense now, would it? So N-O-E. Now I just want to remind you, if I'm going a little too fast for you and you're trying to follow along, there is a setting on the YouTube buttons on the very bottom, I believe they are on the bottom of the video, where you can change the speed of the video. So if I'm going just a little bit too fast, you can set it to 1.5 and that might slow it down, or you can set it to go at a different speed that would basically be like twice as slow as what I'm doing right now. QRS. I might be a little zippy on this only because I've already tapped so many books now. And then we have T. I love that they added the letters on here, because if you remember the first book tabbing I did with Medical Coding Tabs Co, I had to write them in, and now they've updated, they've upgraded, they're listening, they're paying attention, and they did an amazing job. And now we can see right exactly what letters we're putting here. U, V, and W, all on the same page. Now, if you want, you can cut this out, or you can even fold this or something. It tells you to cut it out right here so that you can look at the different letters without all this extra here. But I personally, I'll just move it around. And then I'm going to put XYZ over here. Now, where we might run into a little bit of problems is you can see the XYZ page is actually going to be the same as our first start of the tabular list. So let's see how that will kind of look. But first, I would like to start with these top tabs. So here are our top tabs. Again, nice and color coordinated. All the appendices are blue, which I like. And then here is our grid for our top tabs. Okay, so our first one is going to be the introduction. So these are going to go on the top. Here is our alignment grid. So I'm going to put that right there. Next is page 6 for our procedure coding, which I guess you could put here if you want on page 6, because these are double-sided, so it doesn't matter which side of the page you put them on. Then we have anatomical illustrations. I almost forgot my alignment grid. I was ready to just yeet it. Anatomical illustrations. And then page 63 for 2024 is where we have the index. So we're going to move our alignment grid, flip over to the other side. Otherwise, our tabs will all be blocking each other and we won't be able to see what's going on. Look at how quickly that nice peeled out. So I could put that back in there a little bit more firmly. Now we're going to move on to our appendices. So the appendices are in the back of the book. Appendix A is super important because that is our table of drugs. So don't lose place of where we are right now, because we're actually at tab number 4 here on our grid. And then we flip it back over for our next ones. And the next one is our Appendix B. So Appendix B, Appendix C on page 595. List of abbreviations. That is helpful right there. Then our Appendix D, 599. It's so nice to just have these all listed out here. Here's my grid. And you guys know me at this point if you've watched my other tabbing videos. I'm not into the arts and crafts aspects of tabbing books. So if you want to align yours in a much more particular fashion, you are absolutely welcome to do that. Appendix E, 605 is, and a little bit of paper tear there because I ripped it off really quickly. So there's a note for you. Carefully peel these. Don't rip them off in a hasty fashion. Flipping our guide back over for our next section, Appendix G. Gonna start over here, and then 617 for our Appendix H. And work on the second indentation here. Is that all of it for our top tabs? I didn't miss any? Okay. Cool. General correct coding policies. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a huge section. That's basically NCCI policy manual for HCPCS codes. Okay, now on to our gorgeous, gorgeous side tabs and our gorgeous, gorgeous side tab guide. Isn't that nice too that they put the page number right underneath, so there's not like a separate page you have to reference, it's right there for you. So here we go, section A, which is green, and a green tab to go with it. Then we have our medical and surgical supplies that goes on page 117. Can't forget my grid, because I am sloppy and I will put them all over the place. Next, page 143. These are even better than the ones I tried to make for myself. And what's really nice about them color coordinating them as well is you can keep better attention to where you're supposed to be tabbing them. So here I am in my blue section, and I don't mess that up with anything else. Page 151 is our enteral and parenteral therapy, and that means by mouth and not by mouth 4. And then page 155, seal that in real nice. And then we're going to skip over to 181, and then 211 is our procedures. Professional services, those are our Medicare codes commonly. And then 295, alcohol and drug abuse treatment. One of the nice things about tabbing your book, I feel, is that just the process of going through and tabbing can really help you get more familiar with your book. So sometimes it's just a nice exercise of familiarity. Why do I feel like I messed up here? Victoria, did you mess up your grid? Look at that. Let's double check. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I messed these up. Move these down because I was looking at this orange and thought to myself, oh yeah, put it where the orange is, but that's actually not where that goes. And this gets moved down, this gets moved down, and then this we have to flip over. Whoop, there we go, that's better. And put this over here. We want to make sure that we can see everything. That's one of the things I like about these tabs as well. They're easy to remove and replace if you make a little mistake. And then this goes on page 333, and we're at the second tab in. There we go. Page 341, the third tab in, 1, 2, 3. Page 349, number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I love that these are like just the right size so that you can read the text and read everything on it. And they're not huge, and they're still just like, I don't know, they're just like so perfect. We're heading over now to 393, which is this one here. And then this goes on page 411, 411. And then we've gotten to the bottom. So what do? Whoop, slip back around. Here's our temporary Q codes. Page 435 is next. These are diagnostic radiology. And then we have our S codes. Now the S codes, if you'll see here, are listed also as temporary codes, but they are the non-Medicare temporary codes. And a lot of them have not been terribly temporary. They are things that like Highmark Blue Shield has been using for forever. Okay, and then here's our T codes. We're on 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Then we're going to page, I just lost where it was. 411? Is that where we're heading? No, that can't be it. Here we go. Our U codes. And we're on indentation 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost missed them because there's only those 2 codes there, the COVID codes. And then we have vision services on 469, so just one page over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm counting them out like the numbers aren't right there. And then for the 7th indentation on page 473, right here. All right, is that it? Do we have anything else? Nope. We got them all. So here we have it. Look at this HCPCS book. Oop, left my grid in there. We can see our introduction, coding procedures, anatomical illustrations. If we flip like this, we can see everything. Nothing's really overlapping. The appendices a little bit, but I mean, that's to be expected. You at least can kind of go through them. And from the side, I mean, gosh, look at that gorgeous view. You can see everything that you need to when you are trying to find these codes. And again, the book itself is really not that big when you consider like this whole chunk of it here is all of the different guidelines. Not HCPCS guidelines, just those coding policies. All right, now so let's see what happens when I try to tab the book using the book tabs. So no guidelines, no real guidance of where to put these, how to put them in, what pages they go on. They just kind of throw this to you like an afterthought. So we can see here, we're going to start with the introduction. Oh, these tabs, they pulled off awful. Okay, we're going to start past our marketing pages on page 3 for our introduction. And 2023 and 2024 are fairly similar. I will include below what pages you need to put the marked tabs on for 2024. these first few tabs you can see here, like they're gonna all be on the same page or like within one page of each other, because here's introduction, symbols and conventions, instructions, procedure codes. Like, I don't know why we needed 4 tabs for 2 pages. As far as grid, it's hard to tell because I've never really tabbed a HCPCS book before. So spacing, you kind of got to feel out yourself. Here are our new codes, and then our revised codes, and then I think the deleted crosswalk is what they put a tab on next. After that, we have anatomical illustrations, and then we have the index. Now, technically speaking, these tabs aren't supposed to be for the index. They are for the tabular list. So we're going to put our tabular list tab here. And then technically speaking, these are supposed to be for our tabular list sections. I don't like those though. That's up to you if you want to use those and just have the letter there and not any kind of marking of what they are. But I'm going to use the tabs that I kind of wrote with the extras because instructions were very unclear. So here's our admin code, and then we have the codes for enteral and parenteral therapy. Next we have our outpatient PPS codes. Now, of course, if you want to put these on top or side, that is up to you. I'm going to kind of just jumble them to the side. DME, and then CMS codes, and our H for our drug codes, K for DME, and L for our orthotic. I know these aren't spaced very evenly, but that's okay. L and prosthetics, and then we're going to put our med services right here. P for path and lab, our temporary Q codes, and our temporary S codes. Again, neither of which are really all that temporary. I forgot the radiology ones. Darn, I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna make a new one right now. And then Q, R, S, and then we're gonna do T for Medicaid, and the V for vision. And I missed our coronavirus panel as well. I have to add that one in. V, Q, those are the COVID codes. All 2 of them. I'll stick them right in there. I didn't do a very good job on spacing these. And then we have our appendices. There's just one tab that we have in the book for the appendices. So we'll put that up here. And then if you want to tab your alphabetic index, you can do that as well. I already kind of demonstrated with the other ones for medical coding tabs how to tab the alphabetic index, so I'm not going to go through that with this particular one. All right, so that's it. That is how you can tab your HCPCS book. There is no right or wrong official way for any certain way that you have to tab your HCPCS book, so you're certainly welcome to develop your own sort of tab sets, or use the ones that come in the book, or buy them from some of the different places on Etsy or eBay. I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed making it. I will see you guys in the next video, and until then, just keep on coding on.